terrible for the club because see, Hibs is a Premier League club. Being a local boy, I know what it meant to the fans. It was a terrible day.
I think it affected everybody. You know, you think of yourself at first, then it goes to the fans, and it goes to all the people who might be out of job at that time. You know, the catering staff and the people who work in the club and stuff like that. No, it was a massive blow to me personally. Aye, it was a horrible feeling.
The support had been different class all season, even though we had been struggling, and it was just, as a squad, we felt we had let the fans down as well, and I think that did spur us on to go into what we've done this season.
Vive l'Écosse! Vive Hibs! Et vive la France!
At the end of season 97-98, when Hibs were relegated, some commentators thought that they may not be back in the Premier League for some time. But the squad and Alex McLeish were determined to take the club back to the top where it belonged.
Everybody wants to play at the top level, and to have went down last season, it was maybe like getting a kick up the backside and realising that you have to produce week in, week out. And I think the boys have been determined enough and self-motivated, as well as the management pushing us towards promotion. But I think it was what everybody wanted at the club.
Football's just such a fickle game. You know, you need to bounce back. You know you've only got one chance at it. You need to give it all you've got. I think when we started playing good football when at the start of the season, we were really delighted with it. And you just have to do that. You just have to work hard and get yourself back through it.
We actually wanted the league to start again the next week after the Dundee United game. Such was the frustration and such was the determination of the players at that time. But when they go away and they get their holidays and the rest, you always wonder if they're going to come back demotivated, having to face the First Division. So that was something we had to build on. We had to strengthen their mentalities again. We had to make sure that they weren't just going to think they could turn up on a Saturday and the opposition would lie down and die, because that's clearly that was a surprise to us and a shock to us in the first quarter. The opposition were determined to put one over in this supposed Premier League team.
That realisation was hammered home when, in their first match at Easter Road, Hibs lost to Stranraer. Already the press were calling it a crisis. However, in their next fixture in the League Cup against Aberdeen, who had beaten Celtic on the previous Saturday, Hibs were determined to prove their worth against the Premier Division side.
Just touched away again, and it's just over. Rennie coming into the play, McGinley running on the outside. McGinley taking up very good position again and wins the corner kick. John Hughes come up to battle again. He is right in the middle of the box. And there he gets his head to it. Great ball by Hughes. Rougier. Rougier comes up again, neat little touch on. Crawford gives the support. Got to be a bit of loft in that in there. McGinley. And he touches it in and he scored. No! It was almost over the line, and I think Leighton had lost that. It must have been desperately close, and great conviction again from McGinley, who had thought he would never give up.
I think every player was up for that one. We wanted to show that Hibs should have been in the Premier League, although our season before didn't merit it. We felt we were good enough, and that game was one that we were desperate to show the people in the country that we were good enough to be there.
We had a terrible result against Stranraer in our first league game at Easter Road, and I was interested to see how the players would react. You know, we kicked some backsides. Players were angry themselves, and I'm glad to say that they gave a great performance in the Aberdeen game in the League Cup when we won 1-0, and deservedly won 1-0.
That's a better ball, and it's just past! John Hughes again. The second time in a game, he had the winning of the match there. Great header. Across there, and there's the touchdown. And there's a penalty. There was a touch. The referee had no hesitation at all. And a shrug of the shoulders there by Hicknett. Now the penalty kick. Stevie Crawford. Now he saved one, and he doesn't save that one. He did it against Celtic so dramatically, but this time Stevie Crawford put Hibs, and I think justifiably, in the lead. I'm sure experienced though Alex McLeish is, can hardly bear the tension of this one. He must have about 6 packets of chewing gum in there, by the way, just to sublimate the tension. We're very close to the finish now. I make it about 30 seconds or so, if the judgment of stoppage time was correct. And there it goes. Hibs, from the First Division, have beaten a team unbeaten in the Premier Division, and deservedly so.
Everybody was going to be looking at it saying, well, Hibs are the team that are going to have the best chance of maybe promotion this season. Let's see what they're maybe capable against the Premier League side. I think it was the best way to bounce back and maybe answer the critics that night.
Alex McLeish realised the importance of building a strong squad. He entered the transfer market, bringing in Stuart Lovell from Reading, who proved to be a valuable asset.
I think the expectation was very high at the start of the season. We weren't playing particularly well. There are a lot of new players in the team, and invariably it takes a little bit of time for players to gel. Although the vibes weren't that negative, but there was a definite feeling around the place that you know, the lads wanted to get promoted at the first attempt. I think that the expectation was very high, and the players just wanted to get off to a very good start to the season to make everyone aware in the First Division that we were going to be running the show.
However, other results were not as convincing, and despite being expected to win most games, victories did not come easily in the early part of the season. For example, after leading Clydebank, the match ended in a 2-2 draw. Such results were disappointing enough without the knowledge that there was always going to be pressure to succeed from outside the club.
I knew the players would have to have strong mentalities, and we said that for day one in the dressing room, because any adverse result in the press would have a field day, because everybody at that time, there was a faction against the board, and it would just give them ammunition. Even a draw was a disaster, and there was some cruel headlines at times, but they were pinned up on the notice board, and it's nice to look back on them now, I must say. And if they serve as motivation, then good. But I think more importantly, it only increases your resolve and determination to do better.
For the players that have never been there, it was hard. Like myself's been there and a few others, we know what it's like and we know how to get out of it. But the players that hadn't been there, it was a bit of a culture shock going to the places like Stranraer, and it's a case of you just get your head down and get on with the job, it's to be done.
Alex McLeish knew that to be successful, he would have to strengthen the squad. One of his most valuable signings was made in September when he signed Miksu Patalainen for only £75,000 from Wolves.
Sometimes you'll bring in players and you bring them in potential, but I knew what Patalainen could do. He'd been over the course before, and I knew his strengths, and I felt that his strengths were something that Hibernian badly needed in the First Division.
Well, I think he knew what what type of player I was, and so he just said to play a normal game and hold the ball up and then fight for all the headers and make sure that the ball doesn't come back straight away. And so more or less he just told me to play my own game and try my best. I mean, I was here 7 years before, and I knew exactly what it was like in the Premier League. And obviously coming to Hibs this time was we were playing in the first division, so it is very hectic, very quick football, and sometimes, you know, there's no time to think at all. But I knew all that, so it wasn't a surprise at all.
The arrival of Patalainen provided a catalyst for the team at the crucial part of the season when, during late November and December, the Hibs squad would face some of their toughest opponents.
It's a useful throw-in, nice lay back as well. This is Skinner, he's looking for the 1-2 and he's going for it. Right foot strike, well held by the goalkeeper, almost carving open that Saints defence. Can they do something here from the set piece? Skinner making signals, there's a man running away from the ball, over the top it goes, headed up in the air, still not properly cleared, the goalkeeper flaps at it, McGinley tries for the far post, there's a free header, it's there! They've got the breakthrough, Stuart Lovell getting the high bees in front. Skinner, and for movement up that right-hand side of the famous Easter Road slope. You may find it here. This is Lovell. He gets a 1-2. Can he finish? He can beautifully. What a strike. It's Stuart Lovell at the double.
And certainly I was a new player here, and I didn't set the world alight for the first few weeks of the season. It does take people time. The manager brought in 2 players fairly early in the season, Mixu, Patalainen, who we needed, I felt, as a target man. I was playing up front with Stevie Crawford, or Barry Lavetti was playing as well, and none of us could be considered to be out-and-out target men, so that was an important decision that the manager made.
Alex McLeish knew that December would be crucial to the promotion hopes of Hibs. He normally focused on the opposition in isolation. However, during that period, he changed his normal strategy.
There is the importance of one game at a time, but there's also, I think, a case for grouping games. You know, if you look at the Germans when they go to the World Cup or European Cup, any big national country, they plan for at least semi-final stage. So to get to that stage, you've had to win 4 or 5 games. So I thought, well, that's the way I'm going to approach these games over the New Year period, Christmas and New Year. If we can target those 5 and have the resilience and the ruthlessness to get through these games, churn them out if we had to at times, grind victories out if we had to, then I believe we'll find ourselves clear come the New Year.
Morton trying to break up fields. Nice touch here by Kevin Thomas. Gets a 1-2 with Twaddle. He's going all the way. Showed too much of the ball there. McGinley slicing the defence. There's a chance on here for Crawford. Can he finish it? Runs the goalkeeper. Coolly taken. Stevie Crawford into the back of the Morton net. Nice laid back. Here's Justin Skinner. Gets the head down. Can he split the defence? He has. Patalainen holding off the defender across the face. Must be off the line. No, he's given it. John Robotham says a goal, and Stuart Lovell says thank you very much indeed. Patalainen's flick on. This is Lavetti. Good support. Force wide. Crawford doesn't get to it. Morton trying to break up field through Matheson. Full pass inside. McGinley capitalises. Patalainen. Rougie goes round the outside. Can the super sub finish it here? Rougie inside the box, cutting inside the defender. Left foot strike under the goalkeeper. Trinidad and Tobago's finest scores for Hibs. Good vision by Patalainen. The close control by Tony Rougier. Taking on the defender, Archdeacon. Left foot finish. The goalkeeper couldn't get to it.
Their next opponents were the team who would be Hibs' closest rivals that season. The Falkirk match at Easter Road was to be one of the most crucial of the campaign. If they won, they would be 6 points clear at the top of the table.
McGinley with a throw-in. Patalainen does well to get it back across the box, headed out. Still got time to break downfield. Nice touch though. Derek Collins. Good dummy there by McGinley. Latapi opens up. Good shot. Well taken by Paul Mathers. Very right behind it. Well toward the back post. Put away by Sinclair. Still not properly cleared. The long range effort. Falkirk mounting this tough rearguard action at the moment. It's a better ball up the right hand side. This is Latapi. McGinley challenged by McQuilkin. Another corner to Hibs. Can they convert the pressure into the goal these opening stages? Nice ball and a great header. Yogi Hughes scores against the Bairns. Early strike from Hibs and a crucial lead. Right-footed cross was good. Hughes powering in and the goalkeeper absolutely helpless. Still looking for something. Trav being booed as a former Hearts player, of course. It's a bad ball. Could be punished for it as well. One off to the right by Crawford. Can he finish it? And a good save by Mathers on the 6-yard line. This is Rougier. Defenders backing off. And a Calvin opening here. They're still backing off. Square ball across the dummy. Patalainen to Crawford. Scores, but it isn't offside. Falkirk are appealing. Crawford turns away. Referee Stuart Diggle consults a linesman, and he's given it. The goal stands. Stevie Crawford scores what could be a very important goal for Alex McLeish's side. Stoppage time now. Falkirk in possession, but the Hibs fans calling for the whistle to be blown. And there it is, it's all over. The most important game of the season so far, and Hibs significantly come out on top, beating Falkirk by 2-1.
Well, that's something again the gaffer put us fly for. He knew that everybody would be out to have a go at us, and he knew we'd have one or two hiccups along the way. But he says, be respectful out with, but behind the doors, when we're a team together, we stick together. He made a point in telling us he picked the 5 games that don't get beaten any, and that will see us over the Christmas. And we would be off and running after that. And fortunately we did. We did what he asked.
By mid-December, another new signing had made his presence felt. Russell Latapi often brought the fans to their feet with his incisive runs and his skill in the ball.
On my first game, you know, it was maybe 8 minutes to go when we were 3-1 down at Somerset Park, and we came back to draw 3-all, you know, and the first impression left on me, you know, was a lasting one. And the thing is, we think that we are a good footballing team, you know, and as good as any in our division, and maybe better than most of them, you know. So as long as we put the ball down and try to play football, you know, we're going to get the results. And the manager, he emphasizes on us playing football.
Lovetti. Nice touch back by Bannerman. Latapi. Right foot strike. What a finish! His best goal for Hibs, surely an absolute scorcher. Well set up here by sub-Scott Bannerman. Latapi gathering it, seeing the defenders backing off, looked for the top corner, and that's what he found. The keeper, absolutely no chance.
I think the fans will maybe be frustrated sometimes with some of the home games. Teams are coming and sitting in and making it very difficult for us to get in behind them. But I think with the boy Russell Latapi, we found the gaffer found a wee gem there, and as you say, other boys, he just compliments other boys, and we have knocked the ball about really well this season, and hopefully we'll be able to go and continue doing that next season in the Premier League.
Patalainen doing well to hold it up here, needs support. They find it now. Bannerman, little chip over the defence. McGinley can't control it, goes in again, and persistence pays off for Pat McGinley, second of the game, and how he loves it.
I mind the game against Clydebank as well. Maybe it wasn't the prettiest football and we scored 2 late goals for maybe a more convincing one than it looked. But we worked hard and we got the result in 3 points, whereas maybe the year before it was games like that we were maybe playing well and losing the 3 points. But I think that definitely was the time when we consolidated our lead.
Nice touch by Latipi. This is Lovell. Patient build up by Hibs. So the long ball this time over the top. Flick on by Padulainen, may let Crawford in here. The goalkeeper has it and loses it, and eventually cleared by John Traynor, saving the day for Ayr United. Crawford taking a knock in the process. Great skills by Latipi, the defence backing off. Covering challenge eventually coming in there, it had to be by David Craig. And once again, Ayr are forced onto the back foot. Latipi looking for the 1-2. There's the cross. There's a free header from Mixer Padulainen. Really ought to put that on target. He applauds the cross. He knows he should have done better. There's Crawford. Train under pressure from him. Nice turn by Crawford. Good skills. Can he deliver the cross? It's a low touch. A dummy by Lovell. Padulainen can't get the shot in. Skinner does, and McGinley takes the deftest of touches. He'll claim the goal. Driven cross, set up by Padulainen. Skinner trying to pick his spot through a ruck of players. It was Pat McGinley who put it past the keeper into the back of the net.
Ayr United were going really well at that time, and we took maximum points, and I think there was no looking back after that. We left everybody in their wake, you know, and it was just a case of, right, let's just push on for it. Confidence was really high, buying goals in left, right and centre. And as I said earlier, everything comes for that, confidence comes for that, for scoring goals and everybody playing well. And that was a crucial part of the season, yeah.
Latipi, short one this time. Lovell misses it. Driven in again by Skinner off the crossbar, and Padulainen follows up like any good striker should. The goalkeeper is angry, and so he should be. A good finish by Mixer Padulainen. He didn't clear it here. The long-range effort from Skinner rattling the bar, and Padulainen fast to react, putting the header into the back of the net. That's Padulainen in his own half this time. He's worked very hard. There's a break on here. Crawford. There's Latipi. The defenders are backing off him. He needs support though. Along the 18-yard line, Padulainen onto the left foot strike under the goalkeeper. He's done it! A Christmas cracker from the festive Finn. Give me 5, he says. He'll take 2 goals from this game. Well set up by Latipi. Look at this for control, and a finish from the left foot. The goalkeeper left helpless.
When you're winning games, it does, the confidence seeps right through the club, and that's definitely what happened. We're a good bunch, as I say, we're a good bunch of boys and some terrific players. You feel with the strikers and the midfield players that we've got, you can score goals. So as a defender, it's just a matter of keeping clean sheets, and these guys will go and win you the game. 9 times out of 10, that's what happened.
All over the top. McGinley chipping it in again. Padulainen as well from Lovell. Goes to the 1-2. Can he finish? He does. Welcome to 1999 for Stuart Lovell, the opening goal in the first minute of the game. The referee, but unfortunate for Race. This is McGinley, good strong one from midfield. Can he go all the way? He can. Pat McGinley, 2-0. Latipi, lovely nutmeg. Running into the box, there's a man over on the far side, but he's going in his own. And the Caribbean goal king of Easter Road scores a beautiful goal. Latipi gets a 1-2 with Crawford. But he split the defence again. Padulainen, good strong run. Can he keep it in play? He has. Near post header, may come down to McGinley. And Pat says, make mine a double, his second of the game. professional and impressive performance by Alex McLeish's men, and they've got a man over here, it's Paul Hartley. Can he punish his former club? Thinks about a shot, gets it in, and it's an own goal by Craig McHugh, and it's Hibs go nap at Nerdy.
There's not anybody sort of ran away. They scored like 20, 25 goals this season with the club. But I think you've got maybe 5, 6 players that have scored 10 or more, which shows the variety that you've got and the movement of the team. So I think teams have found that they can't just like say, well, if we stop him or we stop Pat Alainen or stop Pat McGinley, that you know they'll not score today. I think it shows the type of football we play as well, that people are moving off the ball, try to get in the box, and it's worked for us this year.
Airdrie have always been a team who can cause problems to the opposition at any level, and in the First Division they could have been a threat to Hibs' title challenge. Although Hibs had built up a lead at the top of the table by January, no one at Easter Road would allow themselves to become complacent against such a team.
McGinley finds space. Nice interplay here with Latapi. Defenders are backing off again, one way then the other. Supporting play here from Lovering, a good deep cross. Padliner with a free header, dropping just wide. Much to the relief of John Martin, a good effort from the Big Fin. So despite the boos of the travelling Hibs supporters, a chance for a former Hearts player, Kenny Black, to put Airdrie in front. Experienced player, here he comes. Left-footed, sends Skelton the wrong way. The Diamonds take the first blood at the Shibery. Sanderson taking the kick out, but it's met stolen by the head. There's a chance on here. Padlinen going round. Can he finish? He has! A brilliant finish from Mixu Padlinen. 12th goal of the season, 6 on the trot. A lovely ball over the top, nutmegging the defender onto the right foot. The deftest of touches. John Martin may have got a fingertip to it, but he couldn't keep it out, and Hibs are level. Latapi this time with a short corner. This is Skinner through a rucker player that's gone in. Justin Skinner just into the second half. Puts Hibs in front for the first time in the game. Nice short ball. Skinner looking up, right foot strike, took a couple of deflections into the back of the net. This is McGinley. The layoff here to Crawford. Going through between the defenders. Can he find an opening? He needs support. He has it here. Derek Collins, a useful looking cross. Padline in the knockdown. Lovell swivels on it. And what a beautiful strike! That's one of the best goals of the season. Stuart Lovell. Fists held high. Knocked down by Padline, and he wheeled onto it. And the goalkeeper beat into the wind. Alec McLeish still calling for more despite the advantage they have. Dennis opting for the long ball route. It's a good one as well. Crawford taking the defender for a run in that corner. Can he cut it back? As well to hold it up. Lovell chests it down, and that's even better than his first goal. Absolutely fabulous strike from Stuart Lovell, his second of the game, and wraps up the points for Big X boys. Nice control, chested down, left foot, half volley over the top. 4-1 for Hibs.
One of the major factors in Hibs' achievement is the management skills of Alex McLeish. His experience as a player at the highest level proved to be invaluable, as well as his ability to successfully manage such a diverse squad of players.
There's some situations where you can't coddle people, and you just have to let them know, and know in certain terms where they're going wrong. I don't mean just shout at people for the sake of it and with all sorts of obscenities. I think that you have to explain, but in a firm way. I think it's actually a test of people's character. Did he go out in the second half and say, I'll show the manager? Or did he curl up and die? Because if they think I'm bad, then once they have a bad game in front of the crowd and the crowd start to get in your back, that's 10 times worse, believe me, it's 10 times worse. So it's all character building, and it's about getting strong mentalities and being able to withstand criticism We want people to take responsibility. We don't want them to blame somebody else or blame the weather or blame the studs were too long. We want people to take responsibility, hold their hands up, but after they make the mistake, it's what they do afterwards that's the most important thing.
There's so many things about him I like, you know, but maybe the thing that I like the most is that he's approachable. You know, whatever problems you have, maybe professional or personal, you know, he's a friend as well as your coach, and you can actually go into him and, you know, and he can help you resolve it. And I think that's maybe the thing that I most like about him.
His man management's very good. You know, he makes a point of keeping the players informed of his decisions, because a lot of managers I've played for, they read the team out, they say this is the team, and if you've got any problems with it, come and see me on Monday. He makes everyone aware. If you're going to be left out the side, he tells you why. If he's going to put you back in the team, he tells you what he expects. The players are always well informed on those decisions, and yeah, he's very professional in his approach.
The first thing that springs to mind is he's a winner. I think you look back when he was a player and you look at any video clips, he's always shouting at his players. It's just the thing that he's got in him, the inspiration to want to win. He's like that on the training ground every day. He wants the maximum from his players and he doesn't let the standard drop below the 100%. If you don't give him that, he's not short in telling you. But both him and Andy Watson, Donald Park, they played their part in it throughout the season. I think you're right what you say. The manager knows when to ball and shout at players, give them the kick up the backside, or also maybe put the arm round them and try and get better things from them that way.
That determination to win had been shared with the whole squad. February brought the third clash between Hibs and the club which was desperately chasing for the title. The Easter Road side had not yet lost to Falkirk, and with continental stars like Frank Soze and Alex Marinkov making their debut, the tie at Brockville would be no exception.
Back and got Skelton on the drop kick. Missed there by Den Beeman. There's a half chance here for Crawford as the defender slips. Crawford in goal. Only the keeper to beat, and Mathers saves it, racing off his line. Den Beeman eventually getting it away. Falkirk trying to build the long ball over the top's a good one, and it's former Hibby Crunchy Kevin McAllister gets away from the defender Collins. He needs some help here. He lays it back. Crabb on the angle of the box and he squeezed it wide. Relief for Hibs. Scott Crabb knows he should have done better. Skinner comes off Sinclair. That's a bad pass. Larrabee could punish him for this. Larrabee looking up. Defenders backing off. Looks for the 1-2. Touched away by Sinclair. Hibs trying to keep the composure. Marenkov. It's a return ball from Lovering. Good support up the left-hand side. He's got away from Crabb. There's a move on here. Larrabee splits the defence. Can Hartley finish it? He has. Falkirk appealing for offside, but Paul Hartley. Well set up by Larrabee. That split the defence. Kept his composure and beat Paul Mathers. Side trying to come level. At the best of clearances, Scott McKenzie, right-footed effort. Not quite going as far as San Francisco, but all the way through to Oleg Skalkson. The glove figure of Soze. He was trying to hit on the counter-attack, and they may well do here. On the outside went Crawford. Good goalkeeping by Mathers, headed away by giant Kevin James, and Mathers somewhat fortunate to get back. Take the ball down. McAllister checked there. The ball again. And a free kick against Marenkov, despite the appeals to the referee. Useful position this. Scott Crabb and McAllister over the ball. Crabb takes it off the crossbar, making a touch on the follow-up. It's in, they've scored. Maureen O'Keefe pounces to put Falkirk level. Nice control by Soze, juggling it forward to Latterby. Well used to the Scottish temperatures. Can he turn the heat up here on Kevin James? Cover eventually coming in there. Sinclair. Still in play, would you believe? And the break is on here for Maureen O'Keefe. Cutting across the defenders. Marenkov backs off him. Shipped in his stride there by Sean Dennis. And the referee will have a word with the Hibs defender. And booking into the bargain. Well, we have a replica free kick. Scott Crabb, two men back off. Crabb through. Brilliant save by Gut Skelton, and it had to be as well. Good strike, could be one of the most important saves of the season from Ollie Gut Skelton. The strike was on target, and Ollie diving to his left, pushing it away. Takes a wicked deflection. Headed out. Driven in again, this is Latterby. Trying to find space for a shot, and he has. Good save by Mathers on the 6-yard line. So still a winner to come in this game, or will it be a share of the spoils? Touchdown by Soze. Collins, a long-range effort, a deflection into the back of the net. And Hibs have gone in front with a wicked deflection. Derek Collins will take the glory. Nice flick there by Soze. Collins chancing his luck from about 30 yards. It actually came off Den Beeman, which left Mathers beaten all ends up. Ball forward again by Collins. Inside the 9 seconds. And there it is, it's all over. A significant result. The second victory over promotion rivals Falkirk.
That result virtually decided the championship. It was the penultimate match in an incredible unbeaten run in which Hibs won 21 games and drew only 3, scoring 57 goals in the process. It was one of the most successful sequences of results in the club's history.
The run was incredible, scoring a few goals. Goals were coming from everywhere, not just the strikers. You know, it was a great feeling within the team. Everybody was hyper, everybody wanted to be in the team. If you never played well, you're out and somebody else is ready to take your jersey, and that's what it's all about. You just have to be, you're only as good as your last game. You need to just keep plugging away and make sure that you stay in the team all the time.
The characters we've got in the dressing room wouldn't allow them to become complacent. You know, John Hughes, Sean Dennis are experienced guys. They've been there before, and they would drive people on. Pat Linen drive people on. Russell Latterby's got enormous pride. And some of the younger ones, like Stevie Crawford's now, for me, at the stage of his career where he should be becoming a leader in his own right. Because he seems to have been around for so many years, and yet he's still a young man. But my own character and own personality, and the guys that I have working with me in the backroom staff, Donald Park, Andy Watson, my assistant manager, John Ritchie, who's departed for Dunfermline. These are all motivating people, and they keep the dressing room lively. And if they need to lift things, then they can do it. If it's not my turn to do it, then they can do it. We've got a lot of people who can make those different contributions.
The crowning achievement of that unity came at Firhill, when the long battle to win the championship was finally won against Hamilton in April.
Difficult surface. Latterby showing good control though. Patalainen. Latterby goes for a turn. Good understanding between the two front men. He's away from the defender, keeps his balance and finishes. Great strike. No wonder he's being smothered there. Patalainen setting him up. Defender came across him, he kept his balance well, and from just inside the D, good white foot finish which left the keeper helpless. Crucial breakthrough for Hibs. Hibs in command, but looking to capitalise and secure it. This is Patalainen getting away, outstripping the defence. There's a man over here, Russell Latterby speeding in. Can he finish the getting back goal side? Left foot, and he has! A magnificent 7th of the season. That's the goal which takes Hibs back to the big time. Patalainen stretching the defence, Lataby busting through the middle. Defenders getting back, but the trickery of the Trinidad and Tobago man onto the left foot. The goalkeeper getting a touch, but he couldn't keep it out. The referee being urged to bring it all to an end. It's agony before the ecstasy for the travelling Hibs supporters. Anywhere will do. And a year ago it was despair from these supporters. Any second now they will burst into roars of delight because Hibernian are back in the Premier League.
At the Hamilton game and coming off at full time, I'm still checking with the press that Falkirk had dropped points. And when that was confirmed, yeah, it was relief because of the pressure that we were under. So when anybody is under a lot of pressure and things work out for you, then it's relief. But obviously we're triumphant as well.
I was sitting in the stand because I was suspended for that game at Firhill, but it was an absolutely incredible, great feeling. All the boys, you know, no tears in their eyes, but it's just sheer relief that you're going to be back amongst the big boys again. You're playing at better stadiums, and playing in front of Celtic and Rangers fans is absolutely amazing for every professional footballer.
Oh yeah, he was wonderful. I mean, it was a relief. And although it was on the cards, you know, for a long time, because we were runaway leaders. But just to go over that line and to make certain that we were, you know, playing the Premier League, that was a wonderful feeling, and you know, just the one day to remember for the rest of their life.
On the team bus to Easter Road for the last game of the season, it was a party day that will be remembered by the Hibs supporters for many years to come.
Mobile phones are banned, Frank, Josie. That'll be a fine.
It's Alex who paid, it's not me. Alex paid. What? I'm not paying? Okay.
Oh, Frank! Big Sue! Frank's fine for the mobile phone.
Over 90 minutes before the kick-off, the supporters had gathered at the stadium to enjoy the atmosphere and greet their heroes.
The supporters deserve a big vote of thanks. And particularly, I think, in the early part of the season when, despite some indifferent results, they kept turning up. And they could have really turned against us. I mean, I know supporters at other clubs who wouldn't have had that patience. They've been an extra man. I know that we use that term loosely at times, but they've been like an extra man to us.
They've played their part, definitely. They've been a real credit to themselves. They've come out in numbers. A lot of folks say that they wouldn't come out, but they've come out in the numbers, and they've definitely helped the team along. And I think they've enjoyed this season, and hopefully next season we can give them success as well.
I think the Hibs supporters are wonderful. They're back to club after the indignity of being relegated, and I think there's a more unity within the club now.
You know, for the first half of the season, it was hell. I mean, after the Stranraer game, Jesus, it was hell. But you know, the boys have done really well, really well. And when I think about the last day of last season against Dundee United and just the amount of folk that just were inconsolable, this season's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I've got nothing but positive. Exactly, nothing but positive thoughts for next season.
Next team will be winning next season with this team.
That optimism was one of the main aspects of the day when the club laid on entertainment both outside and inside the stadium for the loyal supporters who had turned up week after week throughout the season. While the fans were enjoying the pre-match party, inside the dressing room, Alex McLeish was once again rallying his men to retain their unbeaten record against Falkirk.
It's a great day for everybody concerned. The most important thing's the 90 minutes. So go out there and do yourselves justice and show that you're worthy champions. So all the best, eh? Come on!
Come on, hey!
Don't forget, pass it. Come on, don't forget, pass the ball. Come on, Tico.
come the First Division champions to a tumultuous reception from a capacity crowd. To think just a year ago there was doom and gloom over this part of Old Wiki, and now once again there is sunshine and Leith. So can Falkirk be party poopers, having failed to get the better of Hibs in this season's previous 3 encounters? It's the ball played to Scott Crabb, making ground up that right hand side. He's got a man going with him as well if he can find him, and he does. He slides it through, but in fact the referee's pulled it back. The whistle goes. He's given the Bairns a free kick. Chance to pile big men into the penalty area. Long high ball. Skelton flapping slightly, comes down here to Sinclair. Get it across. Ball skills. And appeals for a penalty and given. Sean Dennis doesn't believe it. The referee says, yes, you pushed. And a chance for Falkirk to go in front. Crabb, and a great save by Origuk Skelton, diving to his right, pawing the ball away, and Crabb is denied in the last line of the Hibs defence. Now what's on here? Latapi and Soze together. Is this one for the training grounds? Latapi shot, Soze a screamer! Mon Dieu from the Monsieur! And the Frenchman runs to the dugout and says to Alec McLeish, "Ça va bien, boss." How's that for a goal? What a way to celebrate on a day of triumph. A short pass set up by Latapi, and the goalkeeper given no chance whatsoever. McGinley changing direction. This is Latapi. Good skills in the ball, trying to find an opening in front of him. Switching it back to the left-hand side. This is young Michael Rennick being allowed to come forward and support. Nicely off by Crawford. Padline with the return. Can Crawford finish? Good strike, good save by the goalkeeper, but the follow-up is here. Paul Hartley bundles the ball into the net. He scored at Brockville. He's done it again. And it's 2 for the Hibs. And this is the goal which sums up the Hibs season of triumph. Great football. And great finishing as well. Paul Hartley, happy as a sandboy, uncorked the champagne, lads.
The celebrations were well deserved. Hibs had swept aside all the opposition in their path and won the championship by a massive 23 points, proving that they were indeed a Premier club.
We'd got the trophy, say, the week after the Hamilton game, the season would have sort of frittered away. So it's been great to have this kind of culmination, and we've all enjoyed it, and we are all enjoying it. It was great. I think it's been sort of uniting of the club and the supporters together, and everybody's appreciated everybody's efforts. They've appreciated us, and we've appreciated them. 2-way street.
A marvellous day for us and for the fans and for the club, you know. So we all going to enjoy it to the maximum and hope that it doesn't end in a hurry.
No, it was great to finish the last game with a good performance, that's right, yeah. And I mean, it was a sellout and maybe, I don't know, 500 or 1,000 from Falkirk, so it was something to play for, 15,000 Hibs fans, so it was great to get a good result today, yeah.
As Winker says, we won it that day against Hamilton. It was absolutely, I felt it was a better day that day. But for the fans to turn out numbers the way they've been doing after that has been absolutely brilliant for us. Keep supporting us, keep cheering us on, and maybe because of them we've had to keep going as well. No let our started slip, and we've been absolutely thrilled with it. We're just absolutely delighted tonight. We're just going to have a few beers and celebrate.
Oh, it's magnificent. When I first came here for Wraith, I knew I was coming to a far bigger club. And you don't realise until you're actually here and see the setup, what the club means and how big it really is.
Hibs fans would always have a special place in my heart, you know, as far as my football career is concerned, because they love this team and, you know, they follow them through thick and thin. We can just guarantee to all the Hibs fans and everyone at the club, as players, and I can speak for the players here, we're going to work as hard as we can, you know, and try to win as much games as we can.
It means everything to me. I've been here such a long time. It's I feel I'm part of the club, you know. It's they make you feel very welcome, and I just feel it's part of me now. It's a great place to be involved in.
It means the world to me. It means the world to me. I just wish next year that if we could win a cup and come and do Leith on the open top bus. I know all my family, all my friends would be at the foot of Leith Walk. that'd be a great occasion for me. Touch wood, if it happens, it would be a great day.